about that view first. Hey friends, Xander Fryer, best-selling author, CEO and founder of High Impact Coaching. And last weekend, I got to go to the 100 Millionaire Mastermind experience. A very high-level mastermind thrown by Dan Fleischman and Joel Marion, two of my now close friends. And this experience is a group of 100 of the top entrepreneurs, leaders, thought leaders, and trainers, service providers, and business owners in the world. And going to this event, I actually felt really uncomfortable. It was kind of entertaining when I first got there, and I rolled up with my Mini Cooper, and I rolled up in between like an i8 and somebody's McLaren in my Mini Cooper, and the valet just kind of looks at you like, "Are you sure you belong here?" I was like, yes I do. But I wanted to share this experience with you because it was one of the most life-changing experiences that I've had in a long time. It's also one of the times that I've had the most fun in my entire life. But going into this experience, I felt really guilty. I felt really guilty going to this mastermind because it was a group of 100 of the top entrepreneurs and business owners in the world, and every single one of us spent $100,000 to be a part of this community. And when I was going to it, I felt guilty because 2.5 years ago, my best friend AJ had taken his own life. And when AJ first took his own life, I felt very guilty for being a coach and having not helped AJ. And I've done a lot of personal work to move past that and allow that to drive me forward. And I actually felt guilty going to this event, seeing how far I've come in the last 2.5 and 3 years, because I felt like I had been leveraging his memory and his loss for my own personal gain. And it was at this live event. One of the speakers, Pastor Carl Lentz, who's the pastor for the New York Knicks, and like Justin Bieber and a bunch of people, amazing guy. If you don't know who he is, check him out. He told me, he said, "Xander, you don't have to feel guilty because everything that you're doing is coming from a place of service. And when you make the money that you do, coming from a place of service, you can actually use that income and those amazing things that you get to do as an identifier of how many people you're impacting and how many people that you're helping." And I wanted to share that with you guys today because when you go to grow your business, you need to realize that the desires that you have to have a better life, take care of your family, be financially free, be able to travel, be able to have those crazy experiences like driving a Porsche way too fast on a racetrack. So I want to run you through everything that I learned from my magical weekend with people like Mark Wahlberg, Magic Johnson, Chris Tucker, Kris Jenner, and dozens of other influential and, frankly, crazy successful people. So we open up the first night, Friday night, with an amazing keynote talk with Mark Wahlberg. And I gotta tell you, the one thing that I took away from this guy is holding yourself to a higher standard. Mark Wahlberg talks about, somebody asked him how he was so in shape and how he's always so good for these roles and things like that. And he said, honestly, I'd hire a personal trainer if one could actually keep up with me. But the truth is, Mark Wahlberg holds himself to such a high standard that other people have trouble keeping up with him. So if you want that level of success, that level of greatness, you have to hold yourself to a higher standard because the truth is, you are what you allow in your life. And one of the things that Mark made very, very clear is he does not allow mediocrity. So that was the first thing that we learned on night one. Now, the second day we got to go to Dan Bilzerian's house, his mega mansion, $100 million mansion in Bel Air, which was absolutely ridiculous. And though I don't fully agree with the morals of what Dan Bilzerian does, I gotta say he has a very nice, humble abode.
We came to have a good time tonight. Oh yeah. What's up? What up?
I'm pretty sure his toilets are more expensive than my car. Guys, I'm pretty sure that the toilet here is worth more than my car. What the fuck? But when we were at Dan Bilzerian's house, we had a lot of amazing discussions, a lot of amazing lessons from some really influential and powerful people. The first talk that we had was from Walter O'Brien. Walter O'Brien is the clinically tested smartest man in the world. He has an IQ of 197. It's the fourth highest ever measured in history. And the biggest takeaway that I got from Walter said, if you want to be significant, if you want to have an impact, first you have to be selfish. First you have to be selfish before you can be significant. And the analogy that he gave us, he said, Mother Teresa hugged 100,000 people in her lifetime, many of which died from starvation and malaria and things like that. Bill Gates lived like a selfish asshole for 50 years to begin his life. But then he wiped out malaria for over 14 million people with one paycheck. I want everybody to think about that for a second. If you truly want to have an impact and if you truly want to be successful, first you have to be selfish. You have to take care of you. You have to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish before you have the means to actually go really have an impact on the world. After Walter, we had an amazing talk by Pastor Carl Lentz, where he really talked about service and the importance of service when it comes to business and entrepreneurship. Again, a little bit ironic doing this at Dan Bilzerian's house, but we'll let that one slide. So we talked about service, and one of the things that he talked about is having the strength as a leader, the desire to serve others, even when they might not deserve to be served. That's the measure and mark of a true leader. When you have the desire and strength to serve somebody else that may not deserve to be served, that's when you know that you're being a true leader and you're really coming from a place of service. We then had Marcus Lemonis, the owner of Camping World, a multi-billion-dollar company, talking about how vulnerability and the ability to open up about the things that scare us is actually the cornerstone for how he built his business and one of the most important things to being successful in this world. And when we talk about vulnerability, it's not just opening up about the things that are easy to open up to. It's about sharing your deepest, darkest secrets with the people that can tear you down at any moment. Because when you're willing to share your deepest, darkest secrets, the things that scare you the most, with the people that you might not trust all the way, that's when you build the trust. That's when you build the community. That's when you build the connection through that openness and through that authenticity and that vulnerability. Vulnerability is not sharing things that you're comfortable with. It's sharing the things that really scare you. After that stellar day at Dan Bilzerian's house, we topped it off with a celebrity poker tournament on Dan Bilzerian's rooftop, where there was a car that was being given away, a little race car that was being given away for the winner. Super weird. And at the celebrity poker tournament, we had a surprise MC. The MC was Chris Tucker, and Nick Cannon was the DJ.
Oh, baby, I'm just like my brother. She never satisfied.
So, I don't know about you guys, but Rush Hour was by far one of my favorite movies growing up. So when Chris Tucker walked in to MC the event, and I don't normally get starstruck by people, but when Chris Tucker walks in front of you and like Rush Hour was like your favorite movie growing up, I just, oh my God, this is amazing, I love you! Just jumped on him and gave him the biggest hug. But what I learned from hanging out with Chris Tucker and Nick Cannon and singing Michael Jackson with both of them was the importance of having fun and making people laugh. One of the things that Nick Cannon mentioned, he said, my life has been built around helping people smile more, right? Because all of this that we're doing, the whole mission, the whole purpose, helping people, having a bigger impact, none of that matters if you're not able to enjoy it, you're not able to have a little bit of fun along the way. Because the truth is, we never make it to that end goal. We never make it to the end process. It's always a process. And if we're not enjoying that process as we go there, it's not worth it in the end. So never stop having fun. All right, so our last day we got to go to the Porsche Experience Track, which I do love cars, even though I drive a Mini Cooper. The last day we got to go to the Porsche Experience Track, and we actually got to go one-on-one with some of the best basketball players out there. Somebody thought it would be funny to have me go one-on-one with Dennis Rodman. Which, of course I won. No, didn't happen. But one thing that I learned about that, right? Even when you know you're not going to succeed, you do it anyways. You go for it anyways. Because truthfully, the only way to fail is not to go 100%. You never want to leave it. You never want to leave something on the court or on the field, right? You want to finish it all. You want to make sure you go all out, because if you're ever leaving a situation, whether it's your business, whether it's your life, whether it's your relationship, with something left in the tank, you're half-assing it, right? After we got to do some one-on-one time with Dennis Rodman, I actually got to have a professional driver take me on a couple of laps around the Porsche Experience track in a GT3.
Do you need your car back to go again?
I now need Depends diapers because, well, that was scary. But it was fantastic. It was amazing. Again, as an entrepreneur, one of the things that I want to make sure everybody's doing is constantly getting out of your comfort zone. Because truthfully, if you're living anywhere in your comfort zone as an entrepreneur, you're not moving fast enough, right? One of my favorite quotes from Brian Tracy says, "You don't need to slow down. You need to calm down, and you need to speed up," right? And I equate entrepreneurship like driving a Porsche GT3 around a racetrack. Right? You're not always gonna feel in control. Sometimes you're gonna feel like you're going way too fast. Sometimes you're gonna be cornering and you're gonna be screaming, oh shit, what the hell am I doing right now? Right? But that's what entrepreneurship is. You've gotta go so fast that you get tunnel vision, that all your fears, all the anxieties, all the criticism, all the judgment, everything that's going on in your life falls away. So that you can get focused on accomplishing the mission and having a blast doing it. That's what I learned going around that Porsche Experience track, which was shortly followed by an amazing keynote from Magic Johnson. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, Magic Johnson obviously had an amazing basketball career, but he also is a part owner of the Lakers. He's a part owner of the Dodgers. He's an owner of a construction and development company in urban areas in the US. He owns multiple Starbucks locations in urban areas in the US. The man is successful in everything that he does, but it comes from one principle. In order to be the best, you have to surround yourself with the best. And he learned this when he was playing for the Lakers. He has a business mentor that told him, Magic, if you're the best basketball player and you want to become the best businessman in the world, you have to surround yourself with the best marketer, the best salesperson, the best lawyers, the best accountants, the best project manager. In order for you to be the best, you have to surround yourself with the best. Jim Rohn said, you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So if you're surrounding yourself with mediocre people, can you imagine where you're gonna end up? If you surround yourself with 5 smokers, you're gonna end up in the 6th. If you surround yourself with a bunch of people that are in 9-to-5s, that are in the corporate world, you're gonna stay stuck in the corporate world. But if you surround yourself with millionaires and billionaires that are changing the world, that are rocking the status quo, you might have a little bit of an impact on some people. You might be able to shake some things up a little bit. And that's what you really need to focus on. Surrounding yourself with the people that lift you up. So to sum it all up, I had a little bit of a ridiculous weekend. From hanging out with Chris Tucker, Mark Wahlberg, Magic Johnson, Dennis Rodman. In the middle of all of that, learning a ton of different business and mindset and personal development lessons, meeting some amazing people. But the thing that I want everybody to understand is, in order for you to have those types of things, get those types of experiences, you always have to lean into your discomfort. The thing that scares you. And I think a lot of people say, oh yeah, I'll do that when I'm ready. I'll do that when I feel like I can make that jump. But the truth is, you make the jump first. You surround yourself with the right people first, and then you become that level of person. You get out of your comfort zone and you do the thing that scares you, and then it becomes comfortable. You don't get comfortable with it and then you go do it. So the thing that I want to challenge you to do today is I want you to find one thing. I just want you to find one thing that scares the shit out of you. And I want you to go make it happen right now. Because remember, you didn't sign up for easy. You signed up for impact.